Alright guys, we're going to be playing some Shipment 1944 for you guys today. I haven't really played Shipment 1944 that much. I played it a couple times. I believe this was my 5th time playing it, and if I'm being honest with you, it will never be as good as the original COD 4. I have a question for you guys though. Maybe you guys can answer it for me. I don't fucking understand why they would do this, but Shipment 1944 is it's a remake of the Call of Duty 4 Shipment map, right? And in Shipment, everything is wall bangable. The containers are wall bangable. Everything is fucking wall bangable. The trash can was wall bangable. Everything was wall bangable. Even the cars a little bit if you had an LMG. So my question is, why the fuck is Shipment 1944 made of all wooden objects, but you can't wall bang anything? You literally cannot wall bang anything. I understand the cars, like, and the barrels. Alright, that makes sense. But literally all these wooden containers that you guys see, you can't wall bang them. And I'm not saying you have to wall bang clean through these containers, because that would be OP and that would cause respawn trapping. But none of these containers are wall bangable, and it kind of pisses me off and it confuses me, because in the original Shipment, in MWR and in the original COD 4, everything was made out of metal and some wood, but mostly metal. So why the fuck is wood less wall bangable than metal? I don't know. But that's besides the point, guys. We're not talking about World War II or Shipment 1944 or the original Shipment. We're going to be talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Now, MW2 is one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time. Hands down my number 2. Black Ops 2 is my number 1. And I gotta say, man, I am just as hyped as everybody else. I didn't make a video initially talking about it, but I did see the tweets and I did see when it was first talked about, when that Amazon whole thing came out. I was on Twitter when Charlie Intel put that out, and I saw it and I was just like, I could make a video about this right away and be one of the first YouTubers to put it up. But if I were to do that, I would just be another YouTuber doing that, and I don't want to be one of those guys. I want to be a YouTuber talking about something different. I'm still going to talk about MW2 Remastered because I'm hyped about it, just like everybody else, but I feel like I have a lot more questions than a lot of other people, because when it comes to MW2, I feel like a lot of people are looking at this remaster in rose-tinted glasses. People are looking at the nostalgia in a way that you should not look at it, alright? MW2 is probably the most universally loved Call of Duty game ever, period. There is not a single person that has played Modern Warfare 2 and that I've met. I mean, if you've met somebody who can honestly say that MW2 is a bad game, I would love to meet them in person and slap them in the face, because they would be the first person I've ever heard of to play Modern Warfare 2 and honestly say that that's a bad game. Universally, MW2 is the most beloved Call of Duty ever. More than COD 4, more than Black Ops 2, more than anything. Everybody loves MW2, and you cannot deny that it's a good Call of Duty game. I'm not saying that's a bad one. However, I am not saying, at the same time, I'm not saying that it's a perfect game, even though it's loved by everybody. If you played MW2, you know that it's amazing. At the same time, you can't deny the fact that it's really, really flawed and really broken at times. And there's a lot of things that MW2 got away with back then that they would never get away with now. And this is why I'm worried about MW2 Remastered, because same thing happened with COD 4. Will the community accept MW2 Remastered the way they accepted MW2 originally? Because back then we had lower standards. Back then it was okay to have broken weapon balancing back then. As long as you had good streaks and good maps, it was pretty fun. COD 4 became an instant classic. MW2 was instant classic. World at War didn't have the best maps, therefore it was a little bit worse, but it still had good streaks like the dogs and the artillery. So it was pretty good. But when it comes to MW2 is made off of this old mentality that we don't use anymore in Call of Duty games. It's made off of the mentality where if everything is overpowered, and if you can use everything in the game, overpowered. If you had shotguns as secondaries, overpowered ACRs, overpowered SCARs, TARs, UMPs, FAMAS with one burst across the map with literally 2 bullets, M16s, one-man army new-twos, Model 1887 Akimbos. If everything is overpowered, then everything is balanced. That's the mentality that MW2 was created off of. That's what Infinity Ward did that year, and it worked out well. I mean, the weapon balance in MW2 is impeccable. It's amazing. You can use anything in that game. I shit you not. Anything in that game, even the F2000 that a lot of people talk shit about now, because like when you look back, it's the only thing that takes more than 3 bullets to kill. But even that gun, compared to other guns in like World War II and shit, it's not that bad. So literally everything in MW2 is usable, therefore everything is balanced, but at the same time everything is overpowered. So will the community be okay with it? And if not, what are we gonna do about that? Because back then, MW2 is probably the most broken Call of Duty game of all time, more than World War II, more than anything. And the reason for that is because of the little glitches that were in that game, you know. Reticle sights were off on certain guns. The FAL, I remember the red dot sight was a little bit inaccurate. You were shooting at you could shoot at one side of the wall and it would go to the other side of the wall a little bit to the right. Like certain shit like that, it was broken. One-man army YouTube, the Model 18 glitch. Like there are certain things that were in MW2 initially that were broken. To this day, they're still broken. And I'm wondering, are they going to fix those things? Because if they decide to fix those issues in MW2, it's not going to have the same feel. It's almost as if you're nerfing MW2 to another game. And although it would be a better game, some would argue, it's not going to be the same game. So my question for Infinity Ward, not for Infinity Ward, but for Raven or whoever remasters the game, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do when we release MW2 Remastered? Are we going to keep everything the same and keep it original to its roots? Kind of like we did with COD 4, you know, the M16 ruled everything just like the original COD 4. And I was fine with it. I loved MWR because it was so similar to the original. It was like I was playing it all over again, but it was populated again. There were no hackers and the hit detection was better. So I was fine with it, but MW2 is a whole different story because MW2's balance is on a whole other level. Like, I don't think you guys understand unless you played MW2. There are so many ridiculous things that happen in that game. If you were not to play it back then, you wouldn't understand why we enjoy it so much. If you were to play MW2 right now on your 360, you would be like, damn, why the fuck do people talk so highly of this game? It's really not that good. It's fun to play, but it's really not that good because it's so buggy and there's so much bullshit in the game. So my question is, are they going to reduce the bullshit in the game? Are they going to keep it to the original? And if they keep it to the original, will the community be okay with that? Because no offense to the community, I love the community. I love the COD community. I'm a fucking YouTuber for it. But the community is really bitchy nowadays. And when it comes to overpowered things, we tend to nerf the fuck out of it. Let's be honest. Anything that is overpowered, anything that's been overpowered in the past 4 or 5 Call of Duty games has been nerfed to the ground. Or just banned. Think about it. The bar in this game immediately nerfed within the first 3 days. They nerfed fire rate a little bit. They added some recoil, shit like that. FG42 in this game. Let's think about IW. They nerfed the NV4 a little bit. Let me think about AW. I believe they nerfed the bow time to kill in AW. Fucking BO3. They nerfed the Vesper. They nerfed the shotguns over and over again, but Vondi kept buffing them. Like, we, as a COD community, we are just so much more needy when it comes to weapon balancing, and we don't want anything to be considered overpowered. We just don't. As much as we want to say that we want guns to, like, beam, we want to beam people with these guns, and we want to do really well with these guns. At the same time, if anything is overpowered in the game, we bitch about it. Hell, to this day, I still see people saying the bar is overpowered. I don't know how that's possible. The bar has probably the worst recoil for a fully automatic AR in this game, and people are still saying that it's overpowered and it needs to be nerfed again. I don't know how they're going to nerf it, but I don't know. It's not my business. But back to MW2, I really don't know how the fuck they're going to do this, and I'm really interested to see how the community is going to take it, because either way, no matter how they do it, people are going to be upset. Like, when it comes to MW2 is such, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's such a beloved game. It's so beloved to the point where if you were to change anything in that game from the way it was originally, people would probably hate you for it. But then again, if you don't change certain things like one-man army and the Model 18s and, you know, the ACR, like, do you know how many people are gonna rage with the ACR right now? Do you know how many people are gonna rage with shotguns as secondaries? What are you gonna do with that? Are you gonna keep it the same right there? I think you should, but some people may argue, no, that's ridiculous. You know, COD has changed. So I'm gonna leave the rest of this conversation up to you guys in the comment section down below. I will be talking to you guys if you guys ever comment down below, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please sure to smash that like button, subscribe as always, check out all my other recent videos, and let me know what you guys think about this. Should they change MW2 at all in the remaster, or should they keep everything the exact same? And this has been your boy Ghostface here. I'll see you later.